Hey everybody, in today's video I'm going to answer a couple of viewer questions. I'm pretty excited about this because I haven't done it yet on my channel. So thanks very much to Kubo and Mo who made comments and have actually opened my mind up to a few things. So let's jump into it and I'll answer those questions. If it's your first time here, my name's Darren and this is the Crazy Canuck Investor, where investing's made easy for beginners. If you're like me, when I started out things were a little overwhelming, but don't worry. I'm going to help you out by sharing my journey, my personal experiences, and all the bumps along the way. So let's jump right into things. All right, so my first question comes from Kubo Haas, and I hope I pronounced that right and I didn't butcher it too badly. He says, "Hi Darren, what risk setting did you put for your RESP robo-advisor?" And if you don't know, last week's video I talked about RESPs, which is a Registered Education Savings Plan. He also says, did you transfer your RESP to Wealthsimple with a joint subscriber or just under one subscriber? And I'm going to read the second question because both questions are kind of intertwined together. So the second question comes from Mo. And if you don't know Mo, Mo has his own YouTube channel. It's Momentum Finance. And I would highly recommend you go check him out. He has lots of great videos. He's been making videos for a really long time. And I could even say today I was actually watching one of his videos because it was on a subject that I'm pretty interested in. So thanks very much, Mo, for making your comment and having such a great channel. Please check him out. Mo says, "Darren, did I see it correctly that Wealthsimple had some bonds and ETFs in your kid's RESP? Do you know what the percentage is? I'm kind of surprised, especially because your kids are still young and several years away from the money that they need." Both of these questions are great and they're basically intertwined. So I'm going to do my best to try and answer both because they're very similar questions in some ways. So let's jump right over to the Wealthsimple app. All right, so here we are in my Wealthsimple account where you can see all of my accounts. What we're going to do is we're going to go into the RESP. So you just look at the bottom of the screen where it says RESP managed. You click that and open it up. It's going to bring you to sort of the main part that tells you a little bit about your account. In this case, it's showing me that we have $58,102. It's telling me, because I had set expectations for when my kids will turn 18, which will be the age I think that they'll be going to post-secondary education, give or take. That expected date will give us a return of about $214,000. And if we scroll down to the bottom, this is where we're going to find the information that we're looking for, and it's specific to our risk level and the holdings that we have. So the first thing I'll draw everybody's attention to here is the holdings, and each one of these has a link, so you just click on the little arrow. Right now we have 80% equity and 20% fixed income. So once we have the app open, it's going to now show us what the 80% is made up of. So in this case, we have US equities at 26%, which is QUU. We have international equities at 19.8, which is ZEA. We have emerging markets at 13%, which is EEMV. And we have global equities at 10%, GLOV. And lastly, we have Canadian equities at about 9.7%, which is QCN. So that totals 80% of equity. And now on the fixed income side, which is 20%, we have 16.3% in government bonds. We have 2.5% in gold, which is GLDM. And we have 1% in Canadian short-term bonds, which is ZCS. And we have 0.3% in cash. So if we jump back to the previous page, now we can get into answering the other part of the question, which is what was the risk level? Well, for me, and we'll just open that up and you can see where that is. When you start your account with Wealthsimple, they ask you a series of questions, and one of them is, what risk level are you willing to take on? It's from 1 to 10. I chose 8, as you can see here on the screen. 8 gives me an 80-20% mix between the equities and fixed income. However, Mo really got me thinking about this, especially given the fact that my kids aren't going to need this money for 9 to 10 more years. Why not be a little bit more aggressive? I can change it whenever I want. So if we scroll down here, the other nice thing about this app is that we can actually play around with it and see what it might be like if we had it at 10. So all you do is you slide this up, it'll turn to 10. The next thing you do is you see portfolio holdings. And now it's changed. The S&P 500 is now up to 29%. The developing markets is at 22%, emerging markets 15%, and so on. So it increases or decreases holdings accordingly. And if we scroll down, we're going to see our fixed income. It's now drastically reduced. So one of the downsides of this is, unfortunately, they won't let you do any more than a 90-10 split, 90% equity and 10% fixed income. That said, I don't think there's anything necessarily wrong with that. The fixed income at 10% is pretty small. The other thing to keep in mind is that I didn't choose to do the robo-advisor with Wealthsimple. They don't allow you to do it DIY yourself. If there's an opportunity to do that, I will change it at some point down the road, but unfortunately that's not in the cards right now. So we'll just leave it as is. Now, going back to Mo's question, he really made me think about the fact that I think I do need to be as aggressive as I can with the growth of this account. So with that said, I'm actually going to go ahead and I'm going to make that change right here. And today's Sunday, so it won't be action until tomorrow, but we'll go through the steps. So once we have the account open, all we do, as I said before, is we slide it up. It's showing us a 10 out of 10. We scroll down. We're going to hit apply change. They're going to throw a little bit of information at you to make sure that you're okay with the risk level. I'm just going to scroll all the way down to the bottom, and I'm going to hit the fact that I understand that. I'm just going to hit confirm. It will update it. The second part of Kubo's question was whether we transferred the account as single subscriber or joint subscriber. We transferred it as joint subscribers. And there is a benefit to doing this. So because we transferred it as joint subscribers, my wife and I both benefit from the amount of money in either account. Now there's 3 different types of accounts you can have with Wealthsimple. The basic one, $0 to $100,000. From $100,000 to $500,000 is the premium, and from $500,000 and up is the generations account. Now, because I have the kids' RESP included, as you can see here, I have my cash, my TFSA, my RESP, and the RESP, it totals over $100,000. Now, as a premium customer, there are a number of benefits from that. You can see them here, which is to get a free USD account. You can get 75 cents per options trading if that's something you're interested in. You get 4.5% interest on your cash account, which I'm taking advantage of. You get financial planning and support. You get 0.4% fee for managed investments, and you get an access to alternative investments and 1% crypto trading fee. So definitely benefit to transferring as a joint subscriber, and my wife would then benefit from that. If her account was at $100,000, it's not quite there, but when it does get there, she will benefit from that. Thanks very much to Mo and Kubo for your questions. They were great questions. It certainly made me think a lot about, what I'm doing here with my own investing. And as you all know, I am a beginner. And as I learn, I like to share these things with you guys. So if you're not too sure about RESPs, I did do a video about it, but I bet you're asking yourself, why would you put so much money over, to your kids' education? Well, let's face it, if they wanted to go and be doctors and so on and so forth, it's going to be pretty expensive. But then there's always that begging question, what if they don't go to post-secondary education, or let's say they don't use enough of it? Well, guess what? This is the best kept secret about an RESP, and you can watch and learn about it in this video right here.